working with resin, make sure you varnish thickly. I am Lisa and I'm here in my little sun porch art studio. My studio is such a mess. I can't even believe how messy it is. I have been working on finishing a few pieces. I'm in the last phases, trying to get them ready to put on my website, put up for sale. And I'm in that last phase where I'm covering here's some unfinished pieces behind me, where I'm covering them with resin. Covering these little pieces with resin is my absolute least favorite part of the process because it is so difficult to get it perfect on the first try. Meaning that you cover them with resin, you let them dry 24 hours, and then when you open them, you reveal and see what you've got. It's so rare for me that they're perfect. There's always a flaw. There's always at least one flaw in them that I feel that I need to sand them down again, mix more resin, pour more resin, wait again, and then see if they work out. And I just find that process so frustrating. In a way, there's nothing I can do about it because before I cover them for the night, I really make sure that there's no mistakes, that everything's perfect. And still, when the resin settles overnight, you're gonna have a surprise. And it's very rare that they're perfect and I have to go again. So anyway, that's part of the process that I don't love. And I haven't been making any new art it's been weeks, maybe it's been like a month since I've actually made new art. I'm stuck in this phase of finishing the artwork that I started. And I'm sort of starting to rethink this finishing process. I'm going to show you an example. I have two pieces here. So I have this one that is ready to be resined. I'm ready to put the resin over it. I have sprayed this with, let me just grab it here. I've sprayed it with this Liquitex gloss varnish. Get my face out of there. And I used this, Golden also makes one. It has a UV resistant, it's UV resistant. So this is that's really important when you're working with paper, with colored paper, because color paper fades over time, definitely fades over time. So I think it will even fade behind the resin. So I make sure that this time I'm covering them with this UV resistant spray, and the varnish keeps the resin from soaking into the paper. Last night, my daughter asked if she could use some of my resin to make some dice. Look, I have them right here. She made these little many-sided dice for her. She plays Dungeons and Dragons, so she made them for that. And I was like, of course you can use them. But I had some left over, and rather than throw it out, because resin is so expensive, I grabbed one of my little 4x4 pieces off the wall. And I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll just cover it with resin. And these ones behind me, I haven't applied the varnish to. So I'm going to show you what happens when you don't apply the varnish to your collage before you add the resin. And I'm also going to show you, I'm just going to show you how this one turned out, and then talk about why I'm considered not doing resin in the future. All right, so here is the one. I quickly sealed it with tape before applying the resin. And here's how it turned out. Let me just see. Okay, here's how it turned out. So look, the top looks really nice. Look at that beautiful resin. You see how the resin soaked into that paper? So that paper was white and yellow, and now it's sort of, I don't know, it looks like a greenish color. It looks like it's gotten wet, and now it's forever has a wet look. And this was white paper here, and it's also been soaked through. This little spot here, the paper's popping out of the resin. See that? This one was a fail. So I'll show you a good example. This is one that has 2 layers of resin. And so this is with resin. The finished look, I'll try to get close up there for you. Okay. And this is the one that I'm about to add resin to. So it will have, you know, a black frame around it. You'll see that. But this is what it looks like with just the varnish. The spray varnish on it. So you do see the paper, the edges of the paper. So that's without. So I'm just going to show you a side by side here. I'm curious what you think. Let's assume that I can sell these, okay? That someone wants to buy these. In your opinion, what do you think? Is it worth the extra money because resin is expensive? These two little bottles of resin are, like with tax, they're almost $80 for these 2 little Canadian, for these 2 little bottles of resin. And I'm having to do more than 1 layer, so I'm going through that. So they're expensive, and it takes a lot of extra time finishing these with just a spray, taping the top, spraying it, letting it dry, spraying it again, however many times I need to spray. And then it's done, and they're perfect. Versus this one, which is a huge mess. It's so messy doing this. And the fumes are toxic, but I mean, it looks so cool when it's done. So I'm just wondering, for those of you who are professional artists and who sell your art, do you think adding the resin will make them more sellable, I guess, is what I'm saying? Will I be able to ask for, you know, that much more money than when it doesn't have, if it just has a spray varnish? Is it, I'm just curious, and I guess maybe the only way I'm going to know is if I offer both with resin and without, and see if it's always the resin ones that sell first, or I don't know. So I'm just curious. So for this series, I've decided to put resin on all of them and sell them that way. But I'm curious. I don't know if I guess it's just everyone's opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. I don't know. Like, to me, when they do have the resin, they do look like, when they're shiny and sparkly, they look like they're little jewels. Little jewels sitting on the wall. I mean, they're so nice. I get that. They're so nice. So I don't know if I'm just going to have to suck it up. Am I going to be someone who always covers my work with resin? To me, it's different if I've made them on paper and I've put them behind glass, spray varnished them, and are just selling them as the piece of paper, assuming that someone is going to have them framed. Then I get it. They don't need resin, and they look really beautiful behind glass. But on these boxes, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just personal opinion. And I can see, like, looking at this now, and I'm going to have to spray it again, and I'm not sure why it's doing this, but there are certain sections on this, a spray varnished one, and I'm thinking it's the varnish covering the glue, where the glue is exposed. It's showing you that glue. When I cover this with resin, you won't see that. That will completely vanish, magically vanish. Every time I bring a collage to its finished point, I learn something. And this is what's so fun with collage, I guess with any art. is it's this constant experimenting and trying new things. I'm always trying a different glue. I was working with this Mod Podge paper for a while. I put this in a squeezy container. I love that. I'm now working with this gloss medium. Now this is my favorite thing. So this one is made with this gloss medium. Okay. Is it going to react the same way when I spray varnish some of my other pieces here? I don't know. So today what I'm going to finish doing is I'm going to get all of these ready to spray, just in case my daughter wants to use some of my resin again and there's leftover. I'll have a piece ready to go and I don't ruin one like I did this one, which now I see that, I mean, I can't sell this. I can't sell it. So I'm not even going to bother fixing this, to be honest with you. I'm probably just going to throw this one out. And that's okay. I can make another one. Yeah, it's a shame because anytime you screw up, you know, it's a waste of your hours. So I've prepared the box. I've done everything. So I might sand this down and glue another work on top of it and resin it again. There's so much to do. I'm so looking forward to being finished. To being finished. I have so much on the go. I'm still getting things uploaded to my website. I've gone back to teaching part-time, trying to get these finished. There's a lot on my plate right now and I really feel like I'm slowing down, and they've noticed I haven't uploaded a video. I'm missing weeks when I upload videos. I'm finding it really difficult. I don't know how professional artists, business there. I mean, if you're a professional artist, you're a business person, and it's pretty difficult doing it part-time, isn't it? When you're working and trying to get all of this done. And some of you run Patreon pages and anyway, I'm just like working away. I'm working away, and thank you for being here and watching again. Just want to give you a quick update. I sprayed the varnish on all of my collage pieces, and where I showed you before how you could see the glue, I put another few layers on this one. I've almost completely lost those little glue patches under the varnish. There's a few tiny ones, but probably if I kept spraying varnish, it's a little bit here. Probably if I kept spraying varnish, did a few more layers, that would completely cover that. So this is with the varnish. Here's the little one with just the spray varnish. And you know what? This is a few layers. And I find it looks really good. I'm really happy with how that looks just with the varnish. And I'm almost wondering if I really need to add the resin and just have that shiny varnish on it. This is a textured paper. It almost has folds in it. I don't know if you can see. And it's not dry yet. I do have the varnish on it, but I'm still worried. I mean, just because I'm varnishing the outside of these folds doesn't mean the varnish is getting inside. So I'm assuming the resin is going to be pulled down these channels and soak it, and you'll lose the color of that paper. It's such a tricky choice. Anyway, that's where I am now. So some of them I will definitely be adding the resin to, and others I'm just not sure yet. We'll see. So that's where I'm at today. I'm gonna put my glue video right here. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time.